always wanted to be one of those people who record like all of their life from their laptop. You know how like those girls who like, you know how people just like post all the time about how them just like talking to their laptop. I just want to be like, I've always wanted to be like that sort of girl. Like when I looked at myself when I was like younger, or like I like imagined what I'd be like when I was older. This is like the sort of person I always imagined I'd be. And like, I mean, to be honest, like I probably would find it helpful because like I'm not afraid to admit I talk to myself a lot, and it's like quite scary because I'll be like in the middle of doing like a normal task, and then I'll catch myself like absolutely like actually daydreaming properly, like 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 talking to myself, like talking to some person next to me that's not next to me. That's probably like something mentally ill. But anyway, I've always wanted to get famous off of like YouTube, but not like in like a Mr. Beast like way, like in a nice way where I can earn money doing that. And I mean like use the money to do more videos, but I'd want to post like vlogs and stuff. I'd want to post like me going out traveling, or me going solo traveling, or me like doing things on my own. And then with the money I get to do that, I get from doing that, I can go and do more trips. Because that's like how I low-key want to live my life. I honestly like, I wouldn't really mind being like homeless. Not in the sense, like, not in like living on the streets like kind of way, because like I feel in my heart like, oh, every single time like I see someone like properly homeless on the streets, like I actually like I can't even fathom like their lives. I just feel so bad, like I feel so guilty. Anyway, that's what I'm talking about. I could like live in my car, or like, hello, I could like live in my car, and I honestly like I wouldn't mind like being homeless for a little bit, like living in my car or sleeping in a tent like all the time, like walking across like wherever. Also, oh my god, that's like one of the things that I want to do. Why does it keep like going back like that? I don't know. But another thing that I've also like really wanted to do is, because I'm gonna take a gap year after sixth form, is go like travel somewhere, go to like the middle of Europe or something. I'm gonna volunteer in Europe. I'm gonna become a volunteer, and then I have like been like, I keep changing my mind whether I want to go to university or not, but that will also like be my time to figure out if I do want to go to uni. But anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. I would, in my volunteering thing, because like I wouldn't get paid because it's volunteering, if you didn't know that. But I'd have a place to sleep, and I'd have food on the table, and I'd have a roof over my head. And to be honest, like that's all I need. I'm not like the sort of person who asks for a lot. Like if I'm staying somewhere, and you know there's people around me that I can like, if I'm staying somewhere for a long time, that is, because I don't really mind being on my own. But if I'm staying somewhere for a long time and there's people around me that I'll get familiar with, and have someone to stay and eat and sleep, and I'm not like freezing to death, then I don't like care. If I've not got like a lot of money to like go and buy like shoes, then I don't like really care. I feel like I've got everything that I need, and the things that I buy, like the things like the clothes that I buy are just things that I want, not really things that like I couldn't survive without. And like honestly, like when I put it that way, because that is true, like why do I spend so much money? Because if I look at my bank account and I look at like the money that I've spent over like the month, it's a lot of money, and I don't even know what I spend it on. Like half the time, I know that every month I spend £20 on a gym membership, which I use a lot, so that's £20. But then the rest of that, like I spend like £200 a month on average, pretty much. But where is the rest of the £180 going? Maybe that could be like a challenge for me. Anyway, what else can I talk about? I always have something to talk about. To myself. Speaking about that, I want to go volunteering and I want to make my money. I also, because me and my dad had a conversation at the pub about seasonal affective disorder, which is like seasonal depression, and my dad has it, and I definitely flippin' have it, bro. Like, even though everyone's like, oh yeah, but you're a winter baby, because I was born in November, everyone's like, oh, but you're a winter baby, you're supposed to love, well, not supposed to, like, they're just like, oh yeah, you're gonna love, like, the winter and stuff, but, like, no, because that's not really me, and it just, honestly, like, it makes me sad. But to be honest, like, I think, hold on, let me search this up. I'm, like, pretty sure it's a genetic thing. Seasonal affective disorder, I'm pretty sure it's a genetic thing. I can't be bothered to search it up. And my brother, I think, I don't know, I think he's just got depression. But my dad has seasonal affective disorder, and I definitely do. And then I was thinking, because I told my dad when he said that, I said that I want to get a house. Obviously, like, if I'm privileged enough to do that, get a house in the northern hemisphere and then in the southern hemisphere, so I can switch between the two and live in hot weather all the time. But like in the UK, it is so, like, at the moment, to be honest, it is really great. It's been such great weather. It's just really windy. It's been really windy for the last few days. But like, I'm not even joking, like, it's been like 29 on average pretty much every day. And that is like, even though the UK isn't made for the heat, I really just enjoy it. Because I don't really get hot and bothered unless I'm like stressed out or in like a crowded place. Which I feel like is normal, but if I'm at home or I'm in the garden, I'm not gonna get hot and bothered. I feel like it's just if I'm like stressed. I feel like this video is like really out of touch already. But I don't mean it to be. Those are just like the things on my mind right now. And I feel like money, from a young person's point of view, is always a crucial thing to think about. Because people like to say that the world doesn't revolve around money, and like if you get a job, like the money doesn't matter. That's what my mum says, but it does at this point in the world, at this like time. Like obviously it's always mattered, but I feel like now more than ever with the like prices. Anyway, I don't want to talk about this. This is boring. Why don't we talk about something better? I've got a list of my top 10 favourite animals on my phone if you wanted to know. But I don't really know if I want to go through that right now. I saw this thing about, I think someone said something about how like, no one said that. I think about how when I'm in a certain point in time, I will never be in this certain point of time again. So when you think about like March 2002, that will never ever happen again. This week that I'm living right now will never ever ever happen again. So like when a month passes, I've never really thought of it as a big deal. But, like, I mean, like, even though it isn't really a huge deal, it kind of has become a bit more meaningful to me. In, like, the sense that I'll never live it again. And the only time I will live it is, like, through my head. But, like, not, like, in person. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm literally waffling the flippin' hell out of this video. And it's not even, like, fun either. Whatever. I don't really have anything else I can talk about. Which is kind of weird because I always have something to talk about. Did I like properly explain that I like want to make my money off like YouTube and stuff and, you know, whatever. My laptop's overheating. Okay. My sister recently had a baby. She literally had a baby. The baby is 1 week old. And okay, this is a good thing to get into. I have been thinking about this baby a lot. So my sister also has another child who's a boy, and he's a lot older. He's like 3. He is 3. He's turning 4 this year. When she had him, I was 13. Yeah, I'm 17. So I was 13 when she was having him. So I wasn't really like allowed in the loop of, not loud, but like I wasn't in the loop of things that were happening at the hospital or like things that were happening with the child that she was giving birth to, because I was so young and I wouldn't have understood it anyway. And I was kind of just like in the loop of, she's gone to hospital, she's given birth, you're an auntie. But it wasn't like in the serious sense of like whatever. And also, because I was so young as well, I never really like got the privilege of taking proper care of the child. Like I'd go there, I'd hold him, I'd try and make him laugh, and then I'd put him down. But this time, with this baby, I've been in the loop of everything. I've known every single thing that happened at the hospital. I've been to the hospital this time. I've like seen the fresh baby. I've looked after my nephew whilst my sister's been giving birth, and honestly, like, I can't stop thinking about the absolute trauma that my sister's gone through. Because the time before was also really awful for my sister, but this time has been like really bad as well. Even though she requested to have things to be a bit nicer to her this time, things still didn't turn out how she'd planned because the doctors were waiting for things to get worse. How can you wait when she's like, oh my goodness. Anyway, I don't want to get into that, but I feel like because I've been in the loop of it so much more this time, and also I've gone to my sister's house on my own to look after the baby and help her with like her house and stuff and help her take care of things. I've looked after this baby like on my own, and I'm so scared. Like, I think it was the night after I went to her house on my own to look after the baby. Well, obviously she was at the house, but like not with like my mum or anything. It was me, and I went on my own to go see my sister and her fiance and the 2 babies. The baby and the toddler. I went to her house like on my own, and I looked after the baby. And it was the first time that I'd really like held her and like fed her, and she's like my own niece. And I remember it was the night after that, I kept waking up thinking that I was holding her and I wasn't holding her properly, and I kept waking up thinking that I was like holding her and her head was like, oh my god. And now every time I close my eyes to go to sleep, I can't like get it out of my head. Because also when I was like there, my sister and her fiance both went out of the room, because I am trusted with a baby because I'm 17 and I should be able to look after like the basics of a baby. They went into the kitchen to go and clean things because they never get a chance to. So I'm there with the baby and I'm feeding this baby, and she coughs, but I can't get her up because she's there. And then, oh my god, it was the most frightening thing ever because she coughed, even though it's not serious at all. It's not serious. She coughed because she was drinking milk, like, and I just got really scared. Like, obviously I can look after a child, but like, I mean, like, I'm so scared of hurting her, even though I'm not going to. But, like, whatever. I feel like also because I'm so in the loop this time, I don't know, like, babies are fragile. But whatever. It was stressful though, because, like, waking up in the night thinking that you're holding your newborn niece and you're not supporting her neck properly, and you're going to be the reason that she, like, her neck breaks, even though, like, that's not flippin' true. I feel like this is all going to be taken out of context. Like, nothing's happened to my niece. I just, like, I'm scared that I'm going to hurt her, and I kept waking up in the middle of the night thinking I was holding her even though I wasn't. And that's it. I made that so much more dramatic than it had to be, but whatever. That's something that I've wanted to say, because I am honestly, like, I am scared about it, because I love her to death, and I love my sister to death, and my brother-in-law and my nephew, and I love them all to death, because my sister's got her own cute, like, little own family. So she used to be my family. Hello? She used to be my family. But now she's also got, like, her own, and I just think that's really sweet. Anyway. Oh my goodness, my laptop keeps, like... Hello? Yeah, anyway. Holy, like, trauma dump. Anyway, seeing as I was talking about, like, how months and whatever are, like, finite, and how this is the only time I'm ever gonna live this month, I think I'm gonna call this goodbye Monday the 13th of July 2026 forever.